How often do you get upset when crocheting the corner to corner stitch because all of your yarn bobbins have become tangled? Urgh! Stay tuned and I will show you how I avoid this and crochet stress free. So as you can see, I have just finished the current row of my corner to corner square. And as you can tell by the fact that I'm forming a straight line here, I am on the decreasing phase. I've got a handy stitch marker on this side of my work, which tells me it's the right side of my work. And on the left, I always keep my active bobbin, and on the right, I have a line of my inactive bobbins. Now I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bobbins in play. Now normally I would be sat on the sofa and have them on my right side with my active one on the left, and I would have them stacked like this so that they would take up less space and I can work with more bobbins in one go. If I do happen to have a large number of bobbins that won't fit beside me on the sofa, or if I'm working a really big project, so for example if I'm doing a throw, I will instead line the bobbins up in front of me on the table, flip my work over so that the bobbins are now here, and then go and sit on the other side of the table to carry on my work. That way my bobbins are still in the right order, whoops, and will not get tangled. So, how to manage your bobbins going back down this row. Now this is the slightly trickier one. Going down the row, going up is much easier, and I will show you how to do both. So I'm going to start, because I've just finished this row, by flipping my work and doing my 3 slip stitches. The next row of this pattern starts with 2 grey squares. Okay, I have now finished my 2 squares, and this is the wrong side of my work. So I'm going to leave the end towards me and put the bobbin under my arm so it's not getting tangled before putting it down in the right order. In order to pick up the next bobbin for the next 2 squares, I'm going to pull this end tight, lift my work, go underneath and grab the bobbin. This prevents my bobbins from getting tangled. Unwind a bit of yarn and crochet the next few squares in the pattern. So again, now that I've done the 2 squares that were called for, leave the end towards me, go under my arm and put it back in line. Next, I need the black. So again, I'm going to pull my end tight, lift the work towards me, go underneath, grab the bobbin and bring it back to the left side. This time I need to do 3 squares. And I'm going to continue in this fashion until I get all the way to the bottom of my row of bobbins. Meet me there and I will show you how to go back up, which is much easier. So as you can see, I have reached the end of my row again. I have my active bobbin on the left, that was the grey that I've just finished using, and my inactive bobbins on the right. We are currently on the wrong side of the work, but as we've just finished the row, we are now going to flip it over. Now we're going to start with our 3 slip stitches. And for this row, I need to start with 1 grey square. This time, as we're on the right side of our work, we're going to drop our tails to the back. So drop your tail backwards and the yarn goes round back into the queue. Now the next colour is white. Now if you pull on the white, you will see that it's not underneath all of the other bobbins this time, it is lying on top. So we can simply pick it up and move it to the active side. Now I need to do 5 white squares. So next is the grey colour. So we simply grab the bobbin and move it over to the active side because it is on top of the others. Now here you can see that the bobbin doesn't exactly line up with where we want it. Now if it's only a square or 2 out, I will not cut the yarn and reattach it. I will simply pop my hook through, pull it through as normal, and then pull myself a little bit of slack before I start my square. Then when I move on to the next square and put my hook through, you need to make sure that the grey yarn is on top of your hook so it will be caught in the stitch and not dangling about, covering up a colour that it shouldn't on the back. It will help to keep your work nice and tidy. So I've done my 2 grey squares, and now it looks like I am back to white. So just pick up the white, move it over. Now for this next part, I actually need to add in a bobbin. So I've got a grey bobbin here. I'm going to grab my tail and pick up the new colour, pop the tail to the back and crochet the 1 square that we need here. And simply all I need to do is, yes, drop my tail to the back as normal and just move the queue around and pop in the new bobbin. I can then pick up my work again, and the next one is gold, so I can simply pick it up as normal and carry on. I shall meet you at the end of the row. As you can see, I've reached the end of the row again, and we're just going to keep continuing. So every time you flip your work to the wrong side, you're going to work down your row of bobbins and lift your work towards you and scoop your hand underneath to grab the next bobbin without them getting tangled. When you're working on the right side of your work, you're going to be working up the row of bobbins and simply picking them up and moving across. I hope that this has helped you to become a bit more confident in managing your bobbins without getting tangled. And if you are interested, this blanket square is part of a pattern that is going to be released on January 1st. So keep your eyes peeled. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you. Until next time, happy crocheting.